for Flabonga Monthrothacube. With Dale and Tony breaking all the rules. Talking tech, biz, and straight up chaos. Quick fire guests, oh yeah, we slay those.
Good afternoon. My name is Dale Rodriguez, and this is Flabonga Monthrothacube. Today, I have substitute co-host.
Hello, I'm Zoe Lacey. I'm the co-host from Alternative Events.
And we have our awesome guest.
Hi, I'm Keith Lesser from Vegan Accountants.
Keith, thank you for being here today.
No problem. Pleasure to be here.
Would you like a silly question or a serious question first?
Well, I'll go for silly. Why not?
If you were a biscuit, what kind of biscuit would you be that accurately portrays your personality and why, but don't just pick your favorite biscuit?
That's tricky, but I'll just go with the first one that came to me, which was peanut butter brownie, but it'd have to be vegan, obviously.
I was about to say the limitations on the vegan biscuits.
No, well, as long as you don't put animals in it, it's fine. You know, there's plenty of selection. Bit of extra protein, health kick, you know.
Okay. So for those of us who are not so initiated into the vegan lifestyle, what brands are good as vegan substitutes? Is there like one key brand that's always on point, or is it lots of different brands? So you mentioned biscuits, for example. I know one of the main ingredients of biscuits are butter. So what's a good non-buttery biscuit?
There's loads. Yeah, I don't know really. I think with a lot of these things, you have to ask the question, why are they putting milk, or it doesn't always add anything, you know, like beer, for example. No one really wants milk in their beer, or sometimes even things like cereal. There's you know, beef and things like that, pork. You go, well, don't really want that, you know, just get rid of it. So
I have heard this. So, like for example, certain beers, they don't have they have either rennet in them, or the manufacturing process, like they get filtered through an animal intestine or something crazy like that, and that's because that's how they did it like 300 years ago, and they still do that, and that makes it non-vegan.
yeah,
Which if you think about
well,
it, nowadays we don't need that.
Wine's the worst one because all gets filtered through fish bladders, which again I guess must be a cost thing. But I think once you know that, you'd just be like, well, just go for vegan wine. It's going to taste the same or better, isn't it? And without that disgusting element.
Our local vineyard in Sussex, they still, when I went, actually a guy in his boxers stamping on Pinot Noir grapes.
Oh, really?
Well, okay. Kind of put me off a bit, to be honest with you. But it still happens.
Yeah.
That's cool. So another silly question. What is vegan accounting? Is it a specialism, as in you come at everything with a vegan angle? Or is it just that it happens you are a vegan and happen to be an accountant?
Yeah, it's not that clever where we've got services that no one else offers and that don't exist. It's literally, so when Accounting Web wrote about this, some clever soul said, oh, I'm going to set up salt and vinegar crisps accountants. But yeah, that was obviously a bit of a piss take. Yeah, all it is really, I've been vegan for 8 years. I reckon after about a year or two, you get more involved in the community. You've got mates that you've got things in common with. Obviously, inevitably, they start wanting to do business with you. And then after a while, I thought, actually, there's something in this. We got, say, 4 or 5 vegans that wanted to work with me because, you know, we were getting on well and all that. And then we thought, well, why don't we just have a little play with this, start a brand, and then we went from there, really. So actually, yeah, now we look after about 70 companies that are in that space. So it's been quite a good little move. I think the other thing that kind of coincided was we used to do a lot of contractors, And we basically, when the government changed all the rules, we lost about 100k revenue overnight, pretty much,
Oh
with
wow.
the IR35 jazz. So like, well, what should we do? So it kind of maybe came from that problem, but you know, it's been quite a kind of good natural move for us, really.
It's niching at its finest, isn't it, Keith? I mean, aligning your values, nice little niche going on there. I think it's quite clever.
Yeah, like I said, it's literally, that's the way I think about it at its core. You know, we're still doing the same as we were before from an accounting point of view, but it's just literally doing business with clients that you get on well with and you have a good connection and relationship with.
Okay. Of all the vegan products you've consumed that are not natural, I mean, that have been manufactured, what's the worst you've eaten and what's the best you've eaten?
The worst, right. I've been really hot on this recently because I don't know if you've heard of this app called Yuka. I might have mentioned it to you actually when we've exchanged comments, but there's a little app. It's a good little app. It's called Yuka. The symbol to download it, if you can't find it, is like a carrot symbol. It's not a vegan app or anything, but it's a health app. And what it does is it rates every food product with a barcode out of 100, right? So literally, you go into the supermarket, and people probably think, "What the hell am I doing?" But I scan stuff if I'm not sure if it's healthy or not, because it's a bit of a minefield, right? You don't know what it's got in it. Obviously, I'm only buying vegan stuff, but then I'm interested if some of the vegan stuff is actually any good. I'm not just wanting to eat crap just because it's vegan. So yeah, like I was buying this kind of chorizo substitute, and I scanned that, and it got rated 7 out of 100, and I was horrified because it was actually quite nice. It's
As
like,
in 7 is really bad, right? As in the most
seven's appalling. Like,
Vegans are allowed treats, right? Vegans are allowed a treat now and again, surely.
yeah, but it's a bit like what we were saying earlier. Like, when I eat or drink or whatever, if it's not meant to be a treat, like say you actually genuinely want something healthy, you're not, but then you get misled by the branding or the packaging or whatever, then you end up buying it and it's actually rubbish. That's like, I'd rather just have a chocolate bar or a piece of cake, and at least then you know, like, it's very distinct. But you don't, things like that, you would think, oh, maybe it's like a decent snack or protein or whatever. But you know, the worst thing is all these chemicals and things. But at least then you know, it tells you what's in it, you know, E numbers, and I think that's really helpful.
What about the worst tasting manufactured vegan product? Because I was gonna say the worst tasting, you could get like, you know, a vegetable, but like what's the worst thing that you've had? Been like, nah, that's not it. And what's the best thing you've had? Because can I share one of my bests?
Yeah.
I got introduced to Camembert. Now, someone who is not vegan and has tried vegan cheese in the past went, not really. This cheese, honestly, 2 thumbs up. There it is. 2 thumbs up. Like, it was actually delicious. It had the texture that was correct. The flavor was pretty decent, and it happened to be vegan. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, I think that's quite common in all these kind of categories where like 90% of them will be a bit rubbish, and then there'll be one brand that'll actually taste nice. I think a good example of that's vegan bacon. I think probably 90% of it isn't very nice. But there is, you know, a couple of brands that are pretty good. I wouldn't eat them like all the time, but they're like noticeably better. Yeah.
Zoe, you've been quiet, perhaps too quiet. What mischievous are you brewing in your mind?
I've got so many questions for you, Keith, because I don't know you that well, but we have to cover it. We have to cover it. Can I ask it, Dale? I'm itching. I'm itching.
I like you're asking me permission. Ask away. Like, this is an open conversation. Ask what you want to ask.
What? So you are the #1 Racketlon player over 40. Sorry to add that in, but that's part of your
That's a very important.
45 next year.
WTF?
Yeah.
Racketlon.
Right, so Racketlon is basically like triathlon, but racket sports. So it's table tennis, badminton, squash, and tennis. A match, you play against the same person in all 4 sports. It's a bit like a tie break in tennis, but you go up to 21 in each sport, like 2 serves each. So it's kind of got that tie break kind of feel. And then you add up the points. So you do like 21 table tennis, first to 21, same in all 4. Then you get to the end of the tennis, you add it up, you see who's the winner overall. It's points based. So after 4 sports, it might be 69, 65 or something. And then you've won by 4 points, but you've played all those games. And then a tournament would be, you know, like a classic format, like last 32, last 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, and then you play through like that, really.
Are you doing that in one day? So like, are you playing someone of these 4 sports over the space of like 2 hours?
Yeah,
or
so the average length of a match is about an hour. I played in Norway at the weekend. I did have a couple that were quite quick because I won quite easily. So there's also it's very maths based.
humble brag. I won quite easily. Yeah.
And I'm over 40.
But basically if you get to tennis and you're already winning by 22, the other guy can't win. So you just stop.
Right.
Do you get confused with your rackets? Do you like actually pick one up to do squash? You're like, whoops, tennis racket, whoops, got confused. How does this work with the racket balls and stuff?
I mean, there's a bit of overlap in technique, and obviously like it helps with athleticism and all that, but they're quite distinct games, really. I don't know if I've got confused between them with rackets. Maybe if I played after a few beers, you're probably more likely. But...
Oh, boozy Racketlon. I've got another question. So, if Racketlon were at a dinner party, which sport would be the starter, the main course, the dessert, and who would be the awkward guest?
Well, it goes in order of smallest to largest. So maybe I'm thinking maybe table tennis is the starter to get you warmed up, but then table tennis, I don't know. Maybe the awkward guest is badminton actually, because that isn't a ball.
It doesn't bounce, right? Yeah.
No,
Yes.
yeah.
But
But a very interesting development with badminton, which fits with my values as well, is because it's actually a terrible industry. Like it's very cruel with they pluck the feathers live. It's all a bit dark. It's primarily done in Bangladesh, and also it's like 40 quid for a tube of balls. So it's a bit of a mad game when you start dissecting it, but. One of the companies, Victor, they've actually developed a alternative without, plucking the birds' feathers. That's actually stood up to scrutiny from international players. So I joined a campaign a couple of years ago, but we kind of hit a few brick walls with it called Duck Off to try and get rid of the animal cruelty in badminton. But yeah, we made a bit of progress, and there was another company called Mizuno in Japan who had done a similar thing, but had like language barriers and they weren't operating in Europe. So, but this Victor, I need to try those out because it sounds like it could completely revolutionize the sport. Also, cost, like no one can afford these things anymore. Like £40 just to buy a tube of balls is crazy.
Yeah. So that's your awkward guest, which definitely
Oh yeah,
makes
yeah.
Definitely 100% awkward. So who's going to be your main course and your dessert?
I think dessert's probably tennis, just because it's the end, and like what happens is people get a bit funny with the tennis because say you need like 5 points, you get all nervous and you don't play your normal game. You don't want to make mistakes, so it just gets very sloggy. And people watch because it's like more of the nerves, but actually the quality can be like I'm sure the quality of my game goes down about 70% when I'm in like a tight situation, because you might need like another point or something and you're playing someone really good who's batting you around. I reckon main course probably squash, because that's probably the most pivotal in terms of like you have to be quite strong and the movement and everything, and probably it's in the middle of the 4 as well, so it's quite key to the outcome.
Yeah.
I think.
So which one, Keith, out of all the 4 sports, do you secretly wish would just disappear?
Oh, it's tricky because like probably tennis, but my tennis isn't bad. It's not bad, but I think just because of the dynamic of it, you go into it and it's not like you're just hitting a couple of balls with your mates at your club. You're like playing a proper thing, and then you get to the, I don't know what the equivalent is. It's probably a bit like how you'd feel doing a tax return at 10 to midnight on 31st of January instead of just
Christmas Day.
chill. Yeah,
I like how you brought it back to
doing
work. Very good.
Yeah,
Very good. That was a
chilling
nice segue.
out, doing it in May or whatever. It's like that's probably the equivalent movement in feeling how it feels when you do it, you know.
I'd also like to point out how you masterfully and tactfully avoided saying shuttlecock on the live stream, because you know there's been some banter about the word shuttlecock.
Yeah, like I said, badminton's just a very strange game. So there you go.
Yeah. What about pickleball?
think-
Does that come into it? Or can that come in and play? Is that like the not allowed person?
Yeah, I think what it is, because this racketlon, although it's a bit niche, it's been going like since the 90s. So you've got people that have actually, you know, probably not many people like me, but that have actually invested a couple of decades into it. So you start going, oh, we're just going to add a brand new sport in, and you go, well, hang on a minute. It's a bit like going, oh, you're a footballer, but now you've got to play rugby. Yeah, it don't really work, you know. So,
Fair enough. Keith, for the audience, how tall are you?
5'9".
Are you? I feel like
Can
you're
you
taller than
measure me?
5'9".
No, it's about right.
Oh, I don't know. I always assumed you're really, really tall.
No, I played a very tall badminton player on Sunday. He was tall.
Zoe, what's the ruler about? Where's that ruler? Wait, what? I'm not going to skip over that. Why was there a ruler there? What's that about?
Oh, this is my late mama's ruler. Can you see her how she's described it when she was like just started school? This ruler is probably about 65 years old. And can you see when they've converted from inches to centimeters? Can you see how they're just trying to? And it's wooden, and I just love it. I just found it the other day in the garage. I just love it. It's got my mum's little handwritten name on it, and it's just old, and I just love it. And it can measure Keith on the screen and things like that.
I thought you were working out what 5'9" is in centimeters.
In inches and centimeters. And what's the angle that you're at? So there you go.
All right, Keith. Semi-serious question. What is a journal, and why do accountants love journaling so much?
I don't know if they do anymore. Just get the software to do it, right?
Come on, you know what I mean. Like, could you laymanize it for a couple of seconds? Explain what a journal is, and what work is an accountant actually doing when they're talking about journals and moving things around. What's it do?
Well, they love it because there's got to be 2 sides to it, so you can't be wrong, right? Debit, credit, all that.
Debit, credit, and all that. All right. Time for a silly question. If you could punch one fictional character in the face and get away with it, no repercussions, what fictional character you punch in square in the jaw? Kapow!
Fictional character. I'm just watching Upload on Amazon Prime. Have you seen that?
Yeah. You can upload your consciousness to the
Yeah.
internet, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I give David Choke a little punch. I mean, he just tried to kill 10 million people to win an election. Outrageous.
Yeah. Good call. Potential spoiler for anyone who doesn't watch the show, by the way.
Yeah, ruined.
It's all
Ruined.
It's
Sorry,
only
have I asked
season 3. You can enjoy it till then. It's fine.
Have I asked you that question, Zoe?
Yes, quite a few times. I think did Popeye come into it at one point? I can't remember. Or was that a different question?
That was a different question.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the shag, marry, avoid question.
That's so funny. I've literally just written that down because I think that's so funny. I was going to do that with the badminton, squash, and tennis. Like,
what?
Then I
As in,
like that.
which racket sport would he shag, marry, or avoid?
Yeah, and then that sounded odd, so I just wrote it down and started talking about my ruler. So there you go.
Good question.
Best co-host ever.
I want to know why your mum kept a ruler from her school days for so long.
Oh, I don't know. Bless her. I just love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Wait, no, never mind. I was going to say something inappropriate.
Behave. Right,
Yeah.
Dale. Who would you punch in the face?
Oh, I've got two answers. So it'd either be Neelix from Star Trek's Voyager. He was a very annoying character, or Stewie Griffin from Family Guy. Have I frozen? I must have frozen because
Zoe frozen.
Zoe's frozen. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That, or she's messing with us and sitting very, very still.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. What advice would you give to a younger person than yourself getting into the accounting space or considering starting their own business?
Two different things. Which one is it? You want me to answer both?
Let's go for the first one. So getting into the accounting space as a younger person, what advice would you give?
Lost sound there. What's happened? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you at the moment for some
Oh
reason.
dear.
All right, I'll answer your question. We'll see if we can sort
Thank
that
you.
out. Right, so yeah, getting into the accountancy space. Well, it's very difficult, I think. With entry level, I think like a lot of industries, there's going to be a problem because it's more firms are valuing those higher level skill sets and then looking at cost effective ways to kind of, the lower skill level. But of course, if we don't train and bring those people up, we're not going to be able to get that next generation to the higher skill level. So hopefully, I've not gone down that route, but I think the cutting costs, outsourcing, offshoring, can be a bit short-sighted. But I suppose it depends how long the game is that you want to play, right? Cool.
No, it's just me being mean. I removed Zoe again because I'm mean like that. Add her,
can't hear you
remove
for
her,
some reason.
add her,
I don't know what's
remove
happening.
her, add her. remove.
The
So,
internet
sorry.
went down.
So Keith, wait, just check. Can you hear me?
Right. So I can't hear you, Dale. No.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can hear Zoe.
Okay,
And Zoe, I
that's
assume you can
weird.
hear me.
The ruler can hear everything.
Second question. New to business. I'm actually doing a talk on this. So I'm doing a talk at Vegan Life Live on the 18th of October, which is at Alexandra Palace. There's a big triple show with yoga and wellness, 18,000 people. And it's kind of a bit like what we've been talking about, partly how to run a successful business and also how to be world class. Well, we haven't touched on all certain elements. But yeah, how to run a business. I mean, or new to business, it's tricky, right? And we all know the stats, how many businesses fail, 90% or whatever. So I think the thing that I see the most is the business model has to work, and people don't, they don't think about VAT or hiring people, and we probably go too cheap. I would say that's the biggest thing. You can apply that to accountants as well. I've spoken to accountants, I'm sure we all have, where they, start off and they think, oh, I'll get a big pile of work. And then, after a couple of years, they go, oh, I'm full now. What do I do? Hire someone. Can't hire someone, can't afford it, don't charge enough, take on more clients, don't have enough time to do the work. So, yeah, I think that's probably the biggest pitfall, really.
Thank you for answering. Can you hear me now, Keith?
I still can't hear you. What do you want me to do?
Can you hear me okay, Keith?
Shall I leave and come back in? You guys can chat for a sec.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I
go
guess.
for it.
How bizarre.
Yeah, that's really strange, isn't it? And then I disappeared. What's going on? What's going on?
Well, let's be honest. The first time you appear, everything goes wrong, Zoe.
I do have an issue with technology surges. So, like, for example, I'll go into like Burger King or McDonald's, and literally my presence literally makes all the computers just break down. Honestly, I can go to Tesco Express, all the tills will break down, have that like malfunction. I think there's something to do with like an energy technology surge. Like there's something there that if I just can walk into a room and literally just everything just breaks.
All I'm hearing you say is I've got Magneto level powers. That's all I'm hearing.
Yes, Magneto
Yeah.
level powers.
Sam Green, afternoon. All great to see that Dale's finally upgraded Tony to a better model.
Sam,
Oh, that's
I'm not as
hilarious.
tall. I'm not as tall. I'm not as tall.
Most people aren't. He's a very tall man. Hey,
And I
Keith,
can't
welcome
do
back.
burgers. I can't make burgers as well as Tall Tone because he's the best at making burgers.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, all good.
All right,
good.
we're gonna blame Zoe for this. To be honest,
Told you with my Magneto
Magneto
level
powers.
powers.
Yeah. Keith, you've been really cool and answered loads of questions we've asked you. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. So, who do you take podcast inspiration from?
I wasn't really inspired by anyone, but I would say this podcast is similar to Joe Rogan in so much as it's just people I want to talk to, ask dumb questions of, and maybe glean some nuggets. Like I didn't do this inspired by anyone in particular. I just wanted to do it because I felt like doing it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'll talk to anybody. Well, within reason.
Yeah. Good. How's your tennis? Good.
I am terrible at tennis. When you're talking about the 4 sports together, now I've played all 4, and tennis is my weakest. To the point where because I used to play a lot of badminton when I was younger, obviously I'm not used to the bounce as much, and obviously just tennis ball is way heavier than a shuttlecock. So with badminton, obviously you use your wrist more to flick the shuttlecock. You can't do that with tennis, and I've tried doing that in tennis because muscle memory, and it just hurts my wrist. So I'm terrible at tennis.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't play any of them. I don't think I've. I mean, my father-in-law was a table tennis champion, apparently. My dad was amazing at squash. I play cricket, so I use a different type of ball. So I like big balls. So I do big ball sports. And that's where I'm going to answer that question, Dale.
I was going to say, how was cricket season? Because I remember when you were on last time, you were like, I took up cricket now that my husband's retired playing cricket.
Yeah, so Keith, my husband's a cricketer. He gave up. I don't know if it's county cricket, but it's a good level of high cricket. And he retired, and I thought, I'll take it up for a laugh. So we founded this women's cricket at Storrington. It's the longest running cricket club going. And we play incredible. So it's not heavy, but it's not light ball. So it's a bit chunkier. And I played at Hove Cricket Ground. I did my first game. I scored 2 4s, one after the other, which is pretty good. And then just before the end of the season, Dale, you'd be proud of me, I padded up. So I'm now practicing with hardball. So I've got the old helmet on and the pads on and all that horrible sweaty knee stuff you have to put on. And it's really something very different to do in your mid-40s, put it that way. So you never know, Keith. I could be the #1 cricket women's player one day, over 40. You never know.
That sounds good. I think this is why I play racket sports as well, because it's, with the weather and that, doesn't it? Do you ever get annoyed like it gets rained off or things like that?
But you know what? It's a very quintessential English thing to do. Like, it's right, our cricket field in Storrington next to the duck pond, and it's all very cute and sweet and lovely. When the sun's out and the bar is open, it is the most magical place to be, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, when it rains, it's a bit grumpy, but we still go to the bar, and we still all it's a community piece as well, I think. But you're right. I mean, at least when you play tennis, well, you could do tennis indoors or outdoors, can't you? So, but yeah, we got nets. We do nets in the winter. So.
Okay.
Were you guys sporty at school?
Shall I take that one? Yeah, I was, but I kind of, it's probably an early influence of niching without knowing what niching meant. So at about 12-ish, I realised I was quite good at table tennis and everyone played football. So I just went, let's just go down the table tennis route and then be like really good. And So that rather than just, you know, someone who plays once a week with their mates at football. So that's what I did. And then, yeah, by about 17, 18, I was kind of national level. So yeah, does that make me sporty? I wasn't, but
Yes.
I've always.
You say it so humbly. Does that mean yes, you're really good at sports?
No,
You
but
say it so
what I mean-
casually. Yeah.
You're the
what I
number
mean
one
by-
ranked over 40 Racketlon player.
Yeah, but this, if you want to get into it, so like this is where I go, like talent versus work. You know, you can apply this to anything,
Yeah.
but people kind of always have this view, you know, oh, he's not that talented, whatever. But I think part of it is putting the work in, and I've been a little bit of a selfish sportsman from the point of view that, like, I don't play, like, you speak to most people, they go, oh, I'll do a bit of this, a bit of that. I play like a few different things. They're interested in more things, and I just went, no, I'm just going to do one thing. So like when I was a teenager, it was table tennis, and then when I hit about 20 after uni or whatever, I just went, right, well, I'm not going to do that anymore, but I'm going to do this multi thing, and table tennis is part of it. But then the last 20 years, I've just done that. I've not. So when you said about pickleball and paddle and football and all these other things people might dabble with, I don't. I only do these 4 sports, and that's it.
Is your degree linked to your current vocation?
I did business studies, so yeah.
Sort of. All right, fair
Yeah,
enough.
running a business. I've always kind of, like, obviously I am a chartered accountant, but I've always kind of approached this world as running a business, like entrepreneurial business owner, not just technical doing accounts. So I think it's a lot about, well, we all know it's a lot about talking to people and relationships. Like it's a lot about communication, isn't it? And translating all that technical jargon.
Yep. Which you do very well, by the way. I follow you on LinkedIn. I like your posts. They're always poignant and good. For the layperson, what does a chartered accountant mean? Because let's be honest, so first thing I know is accountant is not a protected term like lawyer, doctor, nurse. So what is a chartered accountant? What makes the difference of a chartered accountant and a non-chartered accountant?
Well, if you're qualified, you've done exams and you're regulated, I suppose it's then, have you kept up with that membership, which a lot of people don't really see the value in. I wonder sometimes if there's a lot of value in it. We did have a lovely meeting with a client yesterday in ICAW, so maybe there's a bit more value if you're in London and you've got access to that building. But if I wasn't in London, I don't, you know, it's one of those questions, isn't it? Would you actually keep up with your membership? Does it provide value for money and all that?
When you take on a client, oh, sorry, Dale. I was about to say, when you're taking on like a new client, do they say, are you a chartered, or, I mean, when you refer to chartered, I presume ICAW, but also ACCA and other associated brands, just adding. But do they ever ask you, like, what are your credentials? Or do they just think, hey, Keith, he's you know, being an accountant's great, I trust him, I'm going to go for it? Or do they actually say, look, can you show me your certificate? Are you up to date?
No, I think you know the answer. Like, no one really cares, do they? But
it's funny because it's true.
Bit of a bugbear, isn't it? But like, yeah, it's not a protected term. Anyone can call themselves an accountant, as we know.
So you mentioned you live in London, and you mentioned the Ali Pali. Can I assume that means you live in North London?
Yeah, northeast. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, south is where all the cool people hang out, but we'll let it slide.
Yeah. No, south is much better. I agree.
Oh, you do agree? You're the first North Londoner that has admitted that.
No, it's just like where the office is and where the clients are. Like, if you said to me, where would you live? I wouldn't necessarily choose to. I mean, I quite like the busyness, but I wouldn't want to live like more centrally. But I do like kind of that aspect. I went to uni in Sheffield, so that's obviously a lot slower and a lot more chilled. But yeah, I'm just used to it now. I think it's quite. The day goes quicker, and you know, it's probably the influence of the sport as well. Like, you just get a bit more of a buzz out of it, I think.
So are you London born and bred?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Dale, are you London born and bred?
I am not. I was born in London. I lived there a few years and mostly grew up in Kent.
Oh, okay.
I wish I was London born and bred. I really do.
Aw.
So I could have that South London accent. You get me, bruv. Nah,
Dale,
louder.
Dale, that doesn't suit you at all, but I love it.
Blood, are you dizzy?
I think you should actually do a whole interview like the next week in a different accent.
Which one?
Any of them. You can do some
Any
good
of
ones.
them.
Yeah, you're quite good at accents.
Maybe. The problem is I probably wanted to keep it up and I'll make myself laugh and then it'll be silly and then I'll probably do something going to be offensive to someone as well. I don't want to get cancelled yet. I want to get famous, then get cancelled. Like not cancelled before I'm famous. That's ridiculousness.
So Keith, if you were to pick up and move your business and your life and your home anywhere in the world or the country, where would you go?
Well, I think that's the beauty of it in a way. That's why I'm able to do all these tournaments. Like I can just pick up my laptop. Like when I played the World Champs in August, I don't think it'd be one place, but I do enjoy traveling. That's what I do already. So the World Champs is once a year. It's a bit of a unique event because like you have to go for like probably at least 6 days. So it's probably the only week a year where I actually feel like I am a sports person all the time, not like, whereas normally you go work all week, then I might play at the weekend, so you don't get that same feeling. But so for example, I had my quarterfinal on a Thursday, but it was like 8:30 in the morning. And then my semi-final wasn't until the Friday. So I actually had my laptop with me and I did a full day's work. So yeah, anywhere with a Wi-Fi connection, you can get on with it basically.
Brilliant. What about you, Dale? Where would you like, if you could just pick up and take Coconut Head with you and you were just to go anywhere, where would you go?
I would give Canada a go. I've never been to America a few times and I've heard fun things about Canada. So I'd give that a go for a couple of years. That could be fun.
I actually applied for a visa to move to Canada many years ago when I was still living in London. I never moved there, obviously, but I actually applied to live there.
Okay, can I ask why, or was that too personal of a question?
No, it was just my husband at the time. I had two, and I had planned to move out there. So yeah, just sort of give it a go for a laugh. It's not really funny though, isn't it? Why Canada? What was it for you that appeared attractive?
Basically, it's America without Americans, right?
The language and the weather.
Throwing down the gauntlet. That's what it is. Yeah. No. Okay. So what I like about the American continent in general, right? Like it's a very large space, and I like the idea of space and the grandeur of it all, right? So that's kind of what I like about it. And I've done a lot of trips to America, and I was like, you know what? Let's just give Canada a go. That's the allure of it. I like America in general. I like to visit there, but I want to see what Canada's all about. That's pretty much it.
I like it. What about you, Keith? Gun to your head. You've got to move somewhere. Tell me.
Oh, I don't know. Never been, but maybe give Australia a go.
Yeah, see, my husband, everyone that goes out there loves it. I don't get it. I've never been, and I just don't get it. But maybe I would if I went there.
One of the perks of where we live in the UK, let's be honest, we are the top of the food chain. Now, I don't mean to offend you, but let's be honest, nothing can kill us here. Canada, bears, wolverines, Australia, everything. Here, another person, maybe a cow, if you tick it off. But other than that, like not many things can kill you here. Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Well, the worst thing we've got is an adder.
Yeah, we had loads of those this summer.
Did you?
Yeah. Sussex life, we have loads of wildlife.
Because they're really rare.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're not rare around here, actually. They're quite common for us. We're not talking big ones. We're like tiny little wormy ones. Tiny little wormy ones. But, there you go.
No, I mean America's pretty good, but yeah, I think it would kill me. Like I just can't handle the TV adverts.
There are a lot of adverts.
And the vouchers that they send through the door, you get vouchers all the time.
Also, their motorway speed limits are lower than ours generally by like 5 or 10 miles an hour. So a country that big and you've got to drive slower, that's just ridiculous.
But they have bigger cars, You're more comfortable in the car.
Just imagine what LinkedIn messages you get as well if you're in America. It'd be like when people message me and they're like, "Oh, I can 10x your business." What do they say over there? I can 20x your business.
No, you're right. I can imagine it just being
Oh, I love that.
OTT.
Oh.
What other silly questions can we ask Keith?
I love Dale when he thinks, right? He always looks up in that corner. This one thing is, yeah, always. You can always tell you're thinking, even when you're not thinking. And I'm talking to you, you look up when you're thinking about something.
You actually caught Tony and I out on that one time. You asked us a question and we both simultaneously looked at the same direction at the same time. It was quite funny. I've got a clip of it somewhere. All right, silly question for Keith. Keith, no judgment. What is, and I'll share mine first if it makes you feel more comfortable. What is your guilty pleasure song? The song that you know your friends and or family will mock you for listening to and singing along to.
Oh, you might have to give me a minute. You go first. Go on.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm at the gym, and when I was going more regular, I was lifting heavy weights, all manly and rare and all that. And sometimes Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone, will be bopping in my ears, and no one around we would know. But since you've been gone, yeah, that's what would happen. Could you not? It's a banger. I don't care what anyone says.
I love that. Oh, I love that.
One that comes to mind is maybe I'm Only Human because
Window cleaner or like?
yeah, something like that.
Hey, invite them on. It's cool. Come on in.
Yeah. Oh, they're just gone. You missed them. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I do feel like just always needing perspective and getting stressed out by stupid things and then realizing actually it's not important. So songs like that, quite good. But yeah, I haven't really embarrassed myself. Sorry.
Fair enough. ZLC, what's your secret shameful?
The thing is, because I'm just one of those weird, quirky people. Like, to me, no song is not really to be embarrassed by because I don't care what people think about my music taste. But I am a humongous Bryan Adams fan, so I would probably say something like Summer of '69. But again, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm actually really proud of the fact that I love Bryan Adams. And,
oh, look, Sam Green, no shame in Kelly Clarkson. She has bangers galore. Thanks, Sam.
Exactly.
Sam, if you feel like it, by the way, ask Keith some questions. He's here as the guest. Ask him questions.
And also, how cool is Bryan Adams? I'm going to his concert in a couple of months.
He is one of those singers that's got like a very unique voice. The timbre of his voice is unique.
He just keeps going. He's like proper old and like does concerts all around the world. Like,
oh, okay. Here's one. What's the best gig you guys have ever been to? Live performance.
Coldplay, maybe.
Yeah. How recently was that?
A few years ago.
A few years ago. Okay. I assume they're great live, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a tie between two. One of them is because of just the people I was with at the time. It was basically I took a friend of mine to like one of their first metal gigs. It did not end well for that friend. Too long to explain now. And the other one is I got to see one of my favorite bands, Trivium, in a very small venue in Portsmouth. They weren't supposed to be there. No one knew they were there. It was a friend of mine. He's like, "Hey, Dale, we're going to go to this club on a Wednesday night. Do you feel like going?" I'm like, "No, I've got to work the next day." They convinced me to go out. I spent £15 on a ticket. And then there are this amazing, just so we're clear, headlining band, multi-platinum selling band. One of my favorites, just there in a small venue, about 200 people. And I was like, that's them. And they're there. And they're awesome. And they're like, "Thank you, Portsmouth." They're like, "We're on our way to Norway. We just stopped by." And I was like, it was insane. Like, it was one of those like...
Did you get emotional? Did you like cry a bit?
I didn't cry. Zoe, I don't cry.
I
cry
sometimes. I've been quite emotional.
But no, I got emotional. I didn't cry though. But it was just like, it was so epic. It was a good hour and a half set. They nailed it. They were amazing. And they were like literally like, I don't know, 3 feet away from me. It was epic.
I love that. I mean, my first ever concert was Take That. Obviously, when I was 14 years of age, I was like, But
they were the band back in the day.
Yeah, well, the most memorable one was the Red Hot Chili Peppers in Hyde Park with James Brown. God rest his soul. Just the most amazing thing. But also Fatboy Slim on Brighton Seafront, because I lived literally in Brighton when that happened and I was there both years. It wasn't really a concert though, but it's still one of those stories where you're like, when you get older and you go, I was at that Fat Boy Slim concert on the beach. So that's one of the good ones.
Sam's coming with a question. That's really cool, by the way. You've got some good gig history. Sam Green, Keith, what vegan meal would you recommend to eat?
Ooh, yeah.
Hmm.
And if it's good, I'm going to commit to it and have it.
Yeah. I mean, I could give you a dish, which is quite easy. So you get, if you want like a nice guilt-free dessert, you get a can of black beans, a bar of chocolate, then a cup of hot milk, blend it all together, chuck it in a bowl, let it set in the fridge, chocolate mousse.
What kind of milk are we talking here? Like oat milk, rice milk?
Yeah, soy milk, whatever, anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So black beans, chocolate, plant milk, mix it all together, fridge.
Yeah.
Chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
Black beans.
Yeah, really good. I do a lot of desserts like that because you know, we all like something sweet, but you know, try and get a bit of goodness in there.
Can you just
Chickpeas,
whiz it up and put
tofu.
it in a dish, stick it in the fridge, and it's good to go?
Yeah, you can't taste it. Like tofu in dessert's good. Chickpeas, there's loads of recipes. You mask it with other things, and then you can't taste it.
Yeah, I was in preparation for this conversation, I was actually reading up on some vegan things. So like chickpeas, the water that it comes in is called aquafaba, and it's a really good egg substitute. Like you can use it in like meringues and stuff. Is that right? Like.
Yeah. The two main accounts I follow, which are like both brilliant. One's called Epic Mint Leaves.
Okay.
And it's all like really quick stuff. Like you can make it super quick. Quite a lot of desserts, like savory things. The other thing, another good one, he says, just like drain chickpeas, chuck them in the air fryer for like 20 minutes, and then get really crunchy. And then you can just like coat them in whatever, either something savory like spice, paprika, or whatever. Then you get like sort of a crunchy nut type feel, or sweet like peanut butter, chocolate, stuff like that. And you get a nice dessert. The other good account is Broccoli Mum. She's very good as well, and like just like really easy, healthy things to make.
I've got a random question to ask. Keith, look at Dale's jumper. And Sam, if you're still listening, and anyone else on this, I want you to put in the comments, right? Tell me, what colour is Dale's hoodie? Now give us a proper decent look at it, Dale.
Green,
right? What colour? Oh, that gives it away. Okay. That gives it away. What colour is it? Green or blue? Because
it
is green, right? Not green.
It's got sage on it. How can it be blue?
There's something on my camera or the lighting today. I don't know what it is, but this hoodie is genuinely blue. I'm looking at myself on the screen. It does look green on the screen, but as I look at it with my eyes, it is a blue.
Well, but you've got sage written on it. It can't be blue. I'm that super confused now.
It is blue. And this picture behind me is also blue.
No, it's green. I'm wearing green.
And my wall is also blue, but I'm guessing it's the lighting. Hold on, you know what? Hold tight. Let me turn the light on.
But how can you can't have a blue hoodie with sage on it, can you, Keith? That's really wrong. That's like zero, like having a green hoodie with zero on it. Like what?
That has made no difference whatsoever. It still appears to be green.
I think Sage I might have seen some green stuff, you know, like some Go Proposal by Sage. I think they might have had a bit of a green thing going on. Or I might just be completely making it up.
Yeah, forest green. There you go. Thanks. Like this. This is forest green. Green.
So what was that? Green.
Green. Thanks, Sam, not going mad. And thank you, Keith, also not going mad. But as for the but as for the Sage logo on a blue little hoodie, that also confuses me.
Yeah, it's not blue either, Sage, isn't it? Black, I thought.
No, they always have a green logo.
I do. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's all just.
Oh
it's
yeah,
all
the
wrong.
logo is.
Moment, it's just wrong for me. I can't even cope with it.
It's probably my camera. That's all it is.
He's looking up to the left
Sometimes.
now.
Well, no. Sometimes I like to let the silence hang, which I know is not very good for a podcast or people listening, but it amuses me to no end if we just sit here. Also, I like making people suffer uncomfortable silences.
I think silence is good.
I agree.
Those that hang out with me and live with me would agree with that.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're a great conversationalist.
2 of these, 1 of these, as my dad would say. It's like, yeah, all right, Dad.
All right, Keith. What is your least favorite thing about being an accountant?
Least favourite.
Yeah, just like I can't be dealing with this anymore. This frustrates me to no end every day, every week. Just like I can't believe it. Grr, arg.
I think we all get it a little bit where you've got a client base. I mean, we've got maybe like it's less than what it was because my father's retired, but so we've got about 400 people we deal with. I think it used to be about double roughly at one point, but we've kind of really moved away from that sole trader individual type market.
The vampire clients have gone.
Yeah, because MTD's been hanging around for a few years, and I just sort of saw it a mile off that it'd be a bit of a nightmare. So actively don't want to participate in that segment. But
Well
yeah,
phrased.
so I think sometimes I think there's something in the water, where just people just completely lose the plot. And I also think so we've got this, as an accountant, we've got this relationship, it's like one to many, right? So then what happens is you're dealing with hundreds of businesses, so you become an expert because well, that's how I feel anyway. You're like a sponge. You get a bit from client X, client Y, you put it all together, and then that's what part of what makes us good at what we do, because you're kind of consolidating all that knowledge, right? But then you get the odd person who doesn't have that attitude. They could be an accountant even, or they could be just a client or a member of the public, and they think they know everything, but they don't have
Dave
that.
down the pub. Dave down
Yeah,
the pub
Dave
does
down the
know
pub.
everything.
Yeah,
Keith.
they
Dave does
don't have.
know everything. He does.
They haven't. They don't recognise, and I don't want to be like, not meaning to be arrogant or whatever, but that's my position. I deal with a lot of different people, so I get a lot of different perspectives. So if I'm dealing with someone who's got one perspective and they're like, I'm right, it's like, well, it's not a one-on-one, is it? It's more like a 1 on 100, and they should maybe appreciate that a bit more. Some people do, obviously.
Huh. So, interpreting what you're saying, and hopefully I'm not inferring it correctly, one of the things that frustrates you about being an accountant is people who are know-it-alls, slightly arrogant in their position, and people unwilling to see other people's point of view.
Well, also, I don't recognise expertise. Like they're so up their own backside. You actually, not very often, because I think we're quite a collaborative industry. Like you mentioned about Account X and all this. Like we get together, we chat, we share knowledge. Like that's very much my cup of tea. Do stuff with like Simon Chaplin, Accountant Mastermind, people like that. But you do get the odd accountant who's like, everyone's my competitor. I will never speak to anyone. And like you just go, what planet are you on, mate? Like you've got so much more to gain than lose by collaborating. And obviously, yeah, I don't get it.
It's a very noisy space with influencers as well. Like that, we use the term loosely, influencers, but actually, with the accounting ecosystem that we're in, and I think the position I'm in, because I run obviously events for accountants, it's really hard to balance up who is a true influencer. And I think it kind of underlays some of the points you just made, Keith. Actually, I'm kind of like who is not being arrogant as such, but it's actually people who generally know what they're talking about. And unfortunately, it tends to be those who speak or shout the loudest, unfortunately. But, maybe that's a discussion for another day, Dale.
Well, we got a few minutes left, and I want to chime in on that because someone called me an influencer in this space, and I was like, I really shouldn't be.
Yeah, you are. Shut up.
I know a few things, but I'm not an actual accountant. Don't listen to me.
don't need.
Yeah, but you know where I challenge that though as well is like you've obviously got like a pretty good network, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you don't know the answer, like you probably know someone that does. Like you don't have to have it all in your head. That's the whole point about having a network and a team and all that.
I
I
agree with that
really
one.
like that.
And I'll give a shout out to the Digital Disruptors and Ryan Piercy and John Toon and Indy. That group is phenomenal because often I
Yeah.
get asked stuff about fintech, right? And it is like accounting and tax, and it's impossible to know every single nuance. And there's like 100 people in this group, and you can ask a question, and someone's used some product somewhere and give you some help. Like honestly,
Clever stuff.
great group of people. So yeah, I
And
agree with
also,
them.
we're also really privileged to be surrounded by an exceptional ecosystem of accountants. Like the people I work with, Keith, and I hope it's the same for all of us. You're an amazing bunch of people. I absolutely love everyone in it. You know, the accountants, the software providers, the people that put the events on. I just think anyone who's in this industry is very fortunate. And I know we have our little gripes, but actually, you should try working in the event industry. It's not as nice as the accountant one, put it that way.
All right, we're drawing to a close. It's been an hour. First of all, Keith, thank you for doing this. I know you're busy. Thank you for taking the time. Zoe, thank you for being a host as well. Like, thank you for taking time. Before I end stream, Keith, do you have a pearl of wisdom or a nugget you want to drop on the people? I'm going to hover over the end stream button, and after you're finished, we'll be out.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing I've been dealing with at the moment is all these sole traders thinking about doing quarterly returns, and some of them can be earning like quite decent, say they're billing 85 grand, low expenses. Is think about going down the limited route because they save tax, especially if they're new, because you've got the payment on account. You end up it can push your tax bracket up in year one as a sole trader up to like 50%. You go down limited, corporation tax doesn't have payment on account, and then you're going to avoid MTD if you're not in that VAT threshold. So yeah, I've been dealing with a few of those and hope that helps our potential client base and current client base.